DBS Manga Chapter 50 ended on a very interesting and thought-provoking cliffhanger. While Goku and the rest of the gang, along with Grand Supreme Kai, retreated to the headquarters of the Galactic Patrol, Vegeta had different plans in mind. He tagged along with the Galactic Patrol ship and escapes from the clutches of Moro. But instead of retreating to the headquarters, Vegeta states that he wants to go to planet Yardrat. Now this is really interesting and we need to talk about this. Welcome to Wonder Why C, and in this video, we will have a discussion about the things that can actually happen in Chapter 51. So in Chapter 50, when Moro absorbs their energies, they are no longer able to maintain their transformations, that is SS Blue, SS God, or even the regular Super Saiyan form. In that context, Vegeta is very frustrated as he feels that all these magic tricks and even the God form are nothing actually useful. He feels that the only dependable thing is his own physical strength. In a typical Vegeta fashion, he goes on to talk about the Saiyan pride and how he feels miserable to rely on magic tricks and stuff. Thus he wants to do things in his own way, that is using brute strength. So he parts ways with Goku. Now here, things become a bit hypocritical. Because on one hand, Vegeta says that he would like to rely only on his own physical strength, and on the other hand, he intends to travel to planet Yardrat to possibly learn something new, something that will help him defeat Moro, because Yardrat is known in the universe for their weird techniques. Now keeping the irony aside, the actual question is, what is Vegeta actually thinking about? He must have some plans. So what techniques does he want to learn? Now this is just a speculation, there's no proof behind it, but I feel that two major things can actually happen in the next chapter. Number one, and the most plausible thing that might happen in my opinion, is that Vegeta learns some sort of a technique to hold his transformations. Early on in the chapters, Vegeta mentions that in terms of power, Super Saiyan Blue form can very well handle Moro, but because of his tricks and his power absorbing abilities, Vegeta was not able to fully utilize his power in the blue state. Now understanding Vegeta's thought process, I feel that he would try to learn some technique that would help him to retain his blue form and somehow stop the energy manipulation techniques of Moro. Vegeta is someone who relies solely on his own strength, so for him to learn other unique techniques seems highly unlikely. Anything that helps him to retain his form and possibly even master it to a more successful degree, I guess that would be something that Vegeta feels the Yardrats would be helpful for. Or else, option 2. Vegeta is seemingly very pissed off at Moro because of his Saiyan pride and how he was not able to deal with him with his own strength. Now there are some things to consider here. Had this been the pre-Buu saga Vegeta, he would have been a lot more stubborn and unwilling to do something out of the ordinary. But since the Buu saga, and especially throughout Super, Vegeta has matured a lot. Now he is a lot more willing to accept that there are things that can happen outside his reach or control. This is such a situation. Now he is generally willing to do the necessary thing, even if it doesn't align well with his ideology. Case in point, working with Frieza in the Tournament of Power. Anyway, what I want to say is that in such a situation where Moro is gaining the upper hand, Vegeta might be willing to go that extra step to help defeat this villain. Thus, he might go to the Yardrats to search for some kind of a strong sealing that we have not seen before. Maybe this is not like the Mafuba, where the person is fully sealed. Rather, I'm willing to believe that this would be more in line with something like the third Hokage Hiruzen from Naruto did to the hands of Orochimaru. I feel like Vegeta could possibly learn some form of a seal or a technique that would help to stop the energy exploitations of Moro, because we know that physically both Goku and Vegeta are strong enough to defeat Moro, but his magic prevents our heroes from doing so. Thus, if somehow he is prevented from using his magic, then the game is won. So these are some of my speculations that I have for chapter 51. I don't know how accurate they will be, but let's just see what happens. Also on that note, it would be worth mentioning about the instant transmission technique. Now this is a very perplex situation. On one hand, Vegeta absolutely hates to rely on Goku for the instant transmission technique. So I can see him trying to learn this technique so that he can use it on his own rather than relying on Goku. But on the other hand, Vegeta is someone who doesn't even like using any kind of technique. Instead, he prefers to use his own physical power. So you can see the contradiction in this scenario. Personally, I would really love to see Vegeta learning this technique, but I have my doubts over it actually happening in the manga. So let's see what happens in the next chapter. Things are really getting very interesting. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share and subscribe for more. This is WonderYC and I'll see you soon in the next video.